Is your website mobile friendly? That's what we're going to talk about today, and I'm going to show you exactly how to test it. This is super important because nowadays a lot of people will visit websites using a mobile. If your website is just a little bit popular, you'll probably get 30 to 80% of the traffic from mobile. So this is super important to make sure that everything is working there. You can test it first in the browser on a desktop computer, but this doesn't give you the complete result. But I'm going to show you later what you can do there. But first, let's go to our browser on our computer. And the nice thing about this is you get a lot of tools for free, and it's very easy to use. So first, I'm going to right click. I'm going to click Inspect, and you can see here that you can make this here smaller or bigger, but you can also click on this little tool here, and this means this will actually make the dimension like a phone. Now this is interpreted I'm using Brave browser here, so it's interpreted using Brave browser, which is a form of a Chrome. So it's similar to Chrome on a desktop computer, but on a mobile it will look a little bit different, and so you have to check it on a mobile at some point. But now you can just see, get a feel for it, but not all of the things will be exactly the same. So do check it also on a phone, or as I will mention a little bit later, how you can do it. So we can see here, we can change the different kind of dimensions, and it only changes the dimensions. It doesn't actually interpret it. So it doesn't matter if you have, if it's the same dimension, it's basically the same. And you want to take a look at a website using Safari and Chrome for the most part. If your audience is older, you might actually want to also check with Edge, which is the Microsoft browser that is not that commonly used, but if you have older people visiting your website, they might use that. And yeah, you can go and take a look. You will notice that when you have a phone, you do not have hover over effect. So you can see here, it also makes a little nice icon here so that you can see, you can click on different things, make sure that everything is working as it's supposed to. And especially just like the layout and everything as well. So then you go through it, you see that everything is working as it's supposed to, and then you can go to the next step, which is to actually get a separate phone out and check it. And here it's very important to have an iPhone and an Android phone because they are vastly different. You can manage with just iPhone, but you have to check in Safari and in Chrome because these are the most popular browsers. There is also Firefox, but it's used like around 1% of the population. And I love that browser, but unfortunately, it doesn't make sense to optimize for that. Now, if you don't have an iPhone or you want to do everything on your laptop, you can also use something called lambdatest.com. And this is, there's another alternative called Browser Stack, and this is a very, very good system to emulate, or actually they have a device running somewhere that you connect to, and then you make sure to get all of the things exactly as the device sees it. Because iPhone and Android are not similar as your desktop computer, things will be looking very differently. So you want to make sure you're checking on those. This is nice, but it also costs money. So if you are low on budget, or if you already have multiple phones, it might just make sense to check things on your phones. And when you have tested, you need to test a large portion of your website. So let's say you have a blog. You want to test all your product pages because they might be unique, and you want to test a few of your blog articles, but you don't need to test all of them. This way you make sure that everything is working nicely and is working well on mobile, which is nowadays so important. Almost everything is done on mobile, and even this recording is done on mobile. This is how you can test that your website is working nicely on mobile devices. It's also called responsive design. This is something you can do all by yourself, and you don't need to pay an expert to do it. You just need a little bit grit and grease. Now, if you're short on time, or you want to make sure everything is 100% okay, then just message me and we can take a talk. This is just one checklist item to make sure your website is awesome. So do make sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.